Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. That means one of your right side turn signal bulbs is burnt out because I'm going right. Left side's okay. So those look good. They're flashing too fast, but they're flashing. And not so good, no flashing. So I know that I've got a burnt out bulb, or at least a one filament and a two filament bulb, which is what I suspect on this side. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. To be up. What I like to do is take these 3 Phillips screws. It's this little black bezel surround on the headlight. So I'm going to take one. That one I've already got it out. 2. 1 back there. 3. 1, 2, 3 out. Okay. To get at this one, this hood bracket is right in the way. It isn't now, but to get a straight angle at it, take your little manual adjuster. And there's a little cover on it. Take the cover off. Take this manual adjuster and run the light down a little bit, and that'll give you a good shot at it. See, now I've got a straight shot. Before it was, whoops, sorry, out of frame. Before it was like this and I had an angle and I couldn't turn the screw. Now it's a straight shot. Okay, little trick. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to put it back up to take this off. Drop any of those screws down in the front, or you'll be taking your whole front bumper off to find it. Or if it was me, I'd just go find another screw. See, now I'm turning this to get the headlight to come back up, and I'm gonna take that little black surround off of there. Come on. Okay, that's the size it'll go. Now I'm going to just take this off. Just wiggle it around a little bit like that. Remember how it goes on and off. There. Okay? Now I've got some room to get at the little not a harness, but the little plastic piece that holds the bulb. Hold on a second, let me get my flashlight. Okay, now I can get my light in there, get my camera in there, get my hand in there. Now you see that one right there. I don't think it's that one. That one I think is like the corner marker. I think it's this one over here, which can't really show you too well. You can see the wire bundle that's going up to it right there, but it's kind of out of sight, and I'm just going to reach down there and twist it and get it out. Let me go off camera for a little bit here. Alright, this is the driver's side, and I just want to show you the driver's side bulb equivalent of the passenger side, and I've got the signal on. You can see it's blinking. It's like a reflection of the blinking on the inside of the fender, and on the outside you can see it's blinking. Now let's go passenger side, and I'm doing this just to make sure I've got the right bulb. Yeah, I got nothing. So I'm pretty sure that's the bulb. It's a double filament bulb. You see one filament is lit, and that's your daytime running light, and the other filament is supposed to be flashing, and it's not. So I'm going to pull the bulb out of the socket. Take this hood adjuster bumper thing off because it's just way too much in my way. You can just measure it against the other side to make sure that it goes back in the right place, or you can put a little, I think I'll just put a little marker on the threads there, and you just untighten that one nut and that'll come off. I'm going to take it off. Now just break it loose. See, I got my little marker on there so I know where it's supposed to go back to. And get this stupid thing out of the way. Now I can reach in there. Well, I took the side marker out also just so I could get a little more length on this, so I can get this bulb out here, because I don't know if you can see, but it's a little melted in the socket, and I want to try to get away with not replacing this socket if I can avoid it. But what I was trying to get at, that I was having so much trouble with, is, let's see if I can show you. There's a little wire standoff. Can't really show it to you, but I'll show it to you later on when I find it. I want to get this bulb out. But there's a little standoff. It's like a little metal thing, not this one, but like that, a plastic arrow, it looks like an arrow, goes through, and it just holds the wires in a certain position. I should be able to see it. See if I can get my camera in there. Where are you? Well, I don't want to waste your time. I'll show it to you later on when I get to it. Anyway, now I've got good access to this bulb, and I can examine it, see how it fits in there, see how it comes out. And let me do that a little bit, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, Froggy's back after a trip to Napa, and well, as you can see, this is the superb quality of GM original equipment. It's all, well, it's not quite burnt. I wouldn't call it burnt, but it's melted and blackened, and couldn't even get, it's a good close-up, couldn't even get the bulb out. It's just fused into the holder, so got to replace that. I was able to find this at Napa. It looks like, I mean, it's the right part. It comes with a bulb. I don't care for this foam stuff much. I might try to put this original rubber on there instead of the foam. And the wires are not exactly color coded. There's a black, a brown, and a blue, and this was blue with a white stripe, so close, good try. And the gauge of the wires is pretty small. I guess that's going to be okay. I'll have to open these up to see what the gauge is on these wires. Anyway, I'm going to butt splice this in, and that should fix it. So I'll show you more when I've got more. Okay, this is what I'm going to use, 3 butt splices. Then I put some weather sealing shrink wrap over them, and that should do it. So I'm going to need 2 hands to do most of this stuff, but I'll show it to you when it's done. Okay, we got our new holder. spliced on here, and I put some weather pack on there. I'm really not happy about how that, I put a low temperature torch to it to melt it down, but it's really not going to be in an area that's subject to a lot of rain or moisture or really anything else, so I'm not too worried about it. But that's just how it came out. I think that the quality of the shrink wrap was probably not very terrific. Anyway, now all I'm going to do is twist them back in there and put it all back together. So these go in and they twist. Let's see if I'm going the right way. Actually, I think it's going to twist that way. About a quarter turn and they're in. And the other one, the side marker light, is a little bit different, but it's still a twist. I decided to leave that rubber seal on there just because it's new, and I think it'll be okay. So now I gotta get my long arms in there, and I'll have to shorten up this. I'll put a loop and tie wrap it so that it's not flopping around in there. I'll make it shorter. But first off, let me get them back in their holes where they belong, and I'll need my two hands to do that. I'll show you that it's working before I stick it back in there. Nice, slow, normal blink, so we're good. I'm going to describe to you how that goes in. The side marker is pretty easy. Just stick it in there and twist it and you'll get that alright. The one that's here underneath, it's basically the bulb, and I'm just putting the camera on so that I can talk to you. The bulb is pointed up, straight up towards the sky. The bulb goes in the hole, pointed straight up. And then you're going to take the holder part and move it around until it feels flat all the way around, flat with the hole. And then you're going to turn it that way. And you'll feel the three lugs lock in. Now I would call this, if you're looking down at it, it's counterclockwise. Alright, so I'm looking down at my hole. Okay. Counterclockwise. Just give it a quarter of a turn and then reach on, I'm on it right now, and feel with your fingers all the way around to make sure there's no gap. There could be a gap if you caught two of the lugs and you didn't catch one, and it should feel very solid, and you put your finger up against around the circle and you don't feel any gap anywhere. Okay, that's important because otherwise it'll probably fall out eventually. So now all I got to do is shorten up those wires. I'll put these where are you? Those wires down there. Sorry for the previous. I'm just going to shorten them up and put a plastic tie wrap around them so they're not loose there. I'll tie them to the harness itself. And then put my cover back on here, my plastic cover back on here. Remember the trick about moving the headlight up and down so you can get at that final screw. There's the cover. And then I think we're done. So I'll come back and say goodbye to all you guys and gals when I'm done. Alright, there's your excess wires all bundled up nice and neat, and they won't go anywhere, and they're down low enough so that the headlight won't hit them, and that's about done. One thing I forgot to tell you is to put this hood adjuster back in there. You marked where it goes, and then the cover around this, and that's about it. I'll show you those two. Okay, there it is. We're done now, and you can see, I think, Let's see if I can zoom this a little bit. I should be able to zoom this. No? Anyway, the daytime running light, DRL, is on when the other filament, the blinker filament, goes out. You can still see the DRL is on, so they're both working. There we go. There's my zoom. Thank you, camera. And yeah, so we're all good. We're all done. Froggy showed you how to replace your combination DRL turn signal bulb with a whole new socket. So you can get those at Napa. And hold on, I'll give you the part number. Here it's a Napa. Part number is some glare there. LS6515 assembly. And so that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, and it was $43.50 with 8% for the idiots in Sacramento. And so not a cheap part. I've heard other guys in other parts of the country got them for about 35 bucks, but not in SoCal. So there it is. Got to wrap it up, and Froggy's going to put this video up today, okay? So see you later, guys and gals. Thank you for watching. And if you like more from Froggy, you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. You can even do fan funding now. If this saved you some money, you know, throw a few bucks at me for fan funding. I appreciate it. See you later. Bye-bye.